All right. Well, KJG was kind enough to give
Spoiler
us
alert!
a little homework to do last week. Brand new segment. We're doing it every week. Each wizard assigns the group and you, the listener, watcher, however you're consuming this podcast. You get to play along. So KJG dropped us August 4th, 1997,
That's right.
which I realized today when I watched it was the day after SummerSlam 1997.
Oh yeah.
And he dropped us Nitro 100, Hogan versus Luger. Why did you pick this particular match, KJG?
Well, let me paint a little picture for you here, Matt.
Uh-oh.
The date, August 4th, 1997, which we've already said. The venue, the Palace of Auburn Hills, Michigan. This is Nitro 100, baby. This ain't no ordinary Nitro. This ain't no Kurt Hennig versus Diamond Dallas Page main eventing Monday Nitro. This is Lex Luger versus Hulk Hogan, Hollywood. Hulk Hogan, biggest star WCW has ever had. That's right, I said it. Done said it. Biggest star for both companies, mutual star. And this is first Lex Luger. NWO was running wild, boys. Running wild. Beating everybody, doing run-ins, beating the shit out of everybody. Hogan's never going to lose this championship until he does. On August 4th, 1997. Against Lex Luger, the total package. Not Sting, not Flair. Lex Luger beats Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And that's why I picked this match, because I felt that it was such a weird choice to make. A weird pivot in the storyline. I think we're a week, maybe 2 weeks out from Road Wild.
1 week.
And then Luger gets the belt. We all know, future cast, he does lose it very shortly after. Back to Hogan. But I just love this match. The match is actually pretty damn good, too. Pretty entertaining. So I guess the picture is painted. So just like to get you guys' thoughts on how your homework went.
T-Donk, I would like you to go first since you seem very excited to talk about this.
Hogan working heel still like never feels right because he's been red and yellow forever. Even when he didn't want to be, the fans called for him to be red and yellow in the future. But it was a great match. Two things I didn't like about near the end. One, it seemed like Luger's comeback for some reason was super rushed, and I don't understand why, because there was still about 4 or 5 minutes of airtime left after the match concluded and the celebration happened in the ring. But the other thing was, and you know what, when I watched it the first time years ago, it was exciting. It was a great moment. Like, it was cool. Luger went over, right? Every time the NWO came in and fucked the babyface and didn't let him win, and then there was a big beatdown, it was always they just swarmed the ring and that was it. For some reason, superhuman Luger was able to just fucking fend off everybody by himself, which made it even fucking crazier, right? Because it was something that like you did not expect, because everybody up to that point had their ass handed to them by the whole conglomeration of the NWO.
Yeah, it was just, to me, it was just like the perfect timing. Like, it was the imperfect timing of the NWO, but like the perfect timing for Lex Luger hitting one at a time and then, throwing somebody over the top rope, but then throwing somebody into somebody over the top rope, but then, having Savage come off the top and getting him in the ribs and never touching either one of them first. Any of them first. So
and the other crazy thing is you had to do it that way, because if the cavalry comes out to help Luger at that point, you've kind of shit on the whole theory of the NWO, because then if all the crew came out to help, it would be like, well, why didn't they just do this every fucking time? You know what I'm saying? This needed to happen this way. This was the only way they could show that the NWO was fallible and could fucking lose.
Brenda, what was your take on the homework assignment that I dished out here?
I absolutely loved it. I love this match. I love how popular Luger was at the time. Like, I say Sting and Luger at this time were like Hogan Rock, like a couple years later. Like, either one of them could be the most popular guy in WCW. And just to see how good Luger was at, like how amazing he was at the time too. Like, they didn't have to do that much.
Right.
But everything they did just made the fans go insane. and just it gets you so excited for it.
And dude, Hogan was bumping hard too. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, Hogan was hitting hard, bumping hard. Luger was giving those screaming clotheslines and everything, and it was everything wrestling should be. They had a great story. They had a great, fun match, and yeah, there was nothing bad about this until like 5 days later. Because then he loses and he's not on Nitro. It's the most, as much as I love it, it's the most like frustrating match for me because he's the highest of highs. He loses 5 days later and he's not even on fucking Nitro the next week.
This was definitely Matt. This was definitely a Papa rating type moment.
It was, but also like, so I had extra time this afternoon, so I actually watched this whole episode, and I know that wasn't part of the homework.
I have the whole card.
But to see like the show opens with Hogan, and to see like the amount of people there cheering on the NWO, and then to see later like when he goes for the second leg drop and Lex moves, and then the comeback is on and he shit cans the whole NWO, the place is going fucking nuts. People are throwing shit in the ring. Everyone in an NWO shirt is going crazy for Lex as he's setting up the Hulkster for the torture rack. Like, it's such a fucking great moment. And even like the fans were just frothing for this. Before this match is the Sting JJ Dillon has a contract for Sting. He comes down from the rafters. He looks at it. He rips it up. JJ Dillon fucking puts his hands on Sting. Like, people are going fucking nuts for Sting. So like people are ready for something exciting to happen. And then when Luger wins and the fucking people in the ring to celebrate him afterwards, it's fantastic.
What's the most fantastic part? The celebration or Lex Luger totally no-selling Dean Malenko for that?
And the fact that Robbie Rage, Kenny Chaos, and the Barbarian were in the ring.
And the referees.
And Stevie Richards with his fucking Walkman around his neck.
Yeah.
Glacier,
Ernest Miller, the Barbarian.
Oh, in the locker room, Chris Benoit wearing his fucking dress shirt and pants, standing on a stool
with a fucking bottle of champagne, drink it. Now we get it. Now we get it, Benoit.
Oh, and that who was the fat referee? He was in there to celebrate too.
Mickey J.
Yeah, in like his fucking like khakis.
And Mickey J. No, he was in like, was it Mickey J? Yeah, Mickey J was. Oh, there were 3 referees in there. What's the one that passed away? Sadly, actually, they think they're all dead. But
Brian Hildebrand.
Yeah, he was in there.
Mark Curtis,
Mickey J was in there, and then there was another one, a fat guy who was in shorts and a red shirt. Forget his name, but anyway, they were all in there. But let me ask you this, Matt. Everyone says like big moments shouldn't happen with submissions, right? Like, there's been that argument out there that you should hear the 1, 2, 3. And then that's when everyone gets nuts. But this submission finish with Randy Anderson's face, like going like,
yes, he points up,
like I can't, like he can't believe that Hogan actually tapped out to Luger and just says ring the bell. It like totally just brings out an amount of joy as like a root for the good guy type feeling that you could have.
Yeah, it was quick too. Like Luger shit cans the NWO, scoops Hogan, gets him right up on his shoulders first try, and Hogan just starts waving right away, like flailing his arms. And like literally within 2-3 seconds, the referee can't believe what he just heard, and he starts fucking going for the bell. It all happened so fast, and that's exactly the way it needed to happen. It was perfect.
And they built that rack up so much over the last couple of months too. Luger racked everybody from Giant to Roadblock. They showed that if you're up in the rack, you're done. So
and he got Hogan right up, dude. Hey, let me ask you this. At one point, Hogan, he hit Luger with something, and he looks at the camera, and he's like, that's for Big Nick in Montreal.
Yep, he did it twice.
Who the fuck is Big Nick, and why is he in Montreal? And was it his kid?
Nick Patrick, maybe?
No, because Nick Patrick was doing matches earlier in the night.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's his kid. Or it's maybe like a Hell's Angel.
I thought his kid is the one that hits people.
Oh, geez, not at this point, dude. Relax.
Yeah, kids.
Brother, we weren't buying him his booze. Maybe we were.
It's got to be his kid, Big Nick in Montreal.
Big Nick in Montreal.
Because he was a part of some of those NWO segments, too.
I actually had to Google it to see if there was any relation to what happened with Brett, but that wasn't for months later. So, it was the first thing that went into my mind.
Yeah, I noticed that. He did it twice. 2 shout-outs to Montreal. For my Montreal people, brother.
I thought he said Big Nick in Montreal.
He did. He did that, and then he like hit Luger a couple times again. And he turned around and he said, "My Montreal people."
Even on the lockup, dude. Like when Hogan starts out with the headlock, gets into the hammerlock, and as soon as Luger reverses, Hogan runs to the ropes screaming.
Yep.
Hogan, he really was a good heel. Like I still don't feel comfortable watching him as a heel, but he was so good at it. He really was.
And the guys on commentary did an unbelievable job too. Like this is
Yeah.
like Tony Schiavone at his best. Like, Larry Zbyszko said it earlier. Hogan doesn't have, he doesn't have to lose the title. Like he can just get DQ'd. Like, and then Heenan's like, Luger understands that too. He's a former champion. Like the commentary was great for this fucking match.
Yeah.
And Heenan with the insight where, like he knows how the heels operate. It was perfect.
And he knows how strong Hogan is because Hogan has grabbed him by his neck too.
Gave him the old goozle. Yeah, this was fun, man. This was great fucking homework. It really was. I watched the match like 3-4 times as well. Oh, and how about the pissy crybabies in the locker room? Hogan almost flipped that table with all the equipment on it, and then he thought better of it.
I was waiting for that. Yeah.
Savage is like, it was a fluke.
Yeah, everybody just stood there staring at Hogan while he was like sort of trying to have a meltdown. It was like
no one else was allowed to speak until Savage decided I'm going to say fluke.
I will tell you what, for the 100th Nitro, it's not a great show to watch.
The one match show, or
No, the Flair DDP was decent.
okay.
There's a lot of weirdness on here. Hector Garza, Liz Mark Jr. against Los Vianos, where Bobby Heenan calls them every other number Viano except for 4 and 5.
Well, that's the gimmick, bro.
Just weird. The opening match is Mortis against Kurt Hennig.
Babyface Kurt Hennig still.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Dean Malenko and Jeff Jarrett against Chavo Jr. and Hector Guerrero.
Bro, this was fucking Nitro. What did you
I
think?
know. How about, here's something, right?
Go back and watch fucking Raw, dude. All the weird matchups on Raw.
I just
Ashton
don't
Booger
remember
versus
it.
Bob Holly.
Here, the Giant has a 3-on-1 handicap against Joey Maggs, Lenny Lane,
And
Scott
Scott D'Amore.
There's not a single person in WCW that says, bro, Lenny, you look just like fucking Lex Luger. We need to change something up with you, bro.
Well, they did with him and Jericho.
Yeah,
you got to put 3 tomato cans in there against the Giant. Like,
yeah,
And this was pre like Lenny Lane actually getting noticed.
yes.
Yeah.
But he looked just like fucking, he had the long hair like Luger. He was in shape. Like, he looked just like fucking Lex Luger from the back.
and you have him jobbing in a 3-on-1.
I mean,
With
it's
Scott
the
Like,
Giant.
have him job, but he, not in a 3-on-1 to the Jai.
The Giant.
The Jai Soul Bro.
Fuck yeah.
Awesome.
was-
I'm glad
it
you guys
was-
enjoyed the assignment.
It was great.
Yeah, great pick.
Yeah, it
Great,
really
easy
was.
watch.
Yeah, 20 minutes max, maybe like 24, if that, including entrances and celebration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and again, like, man, nobody was hotter than Luger at this time, man.
Nope.
It was awesome. Fucking crowd loved it. Ate it up.
I ate it up. I loved it.
What a big old
Peak Luger,
spoon.
that's for sure.
Took the spoon right out the porridge and ate this match up.
Fuck yeah.
Now we get homework assignment from Mr. T Donk.
Oh no.
What is 2? What? No, what is this?
That's peace, bro. That means it's gonna
Okay.
be good.
Okay.
Oh,
good.
is it going to be good?
I get the show between Christmas and New Year's, so everybody's around to watch this shit. Anybody want to take a guess?
Bruno and Georgie Animal Steel retirement match.
Close, but you're way off.
Okay.
Piper Valentine chain
Bruno.
match.
What'd you say, KGG?
I
I'm
said
sorry.
Piper Valentine chain match.
Ooh, that's a good one actually, but no.
Bruno Tito against Savage Ventura in the cage.
Ventura.
It's not Ventura, is it? Savage and
Adonis.
Adonis.
The date, July 12th, 1986. The location, the Mecca of professional wrestling, Madison
Richfield
Square
Park.
Garden.
Richfield Park?
Inside of a salad steel cage, Randy Macho Man Savage, your Intercontinental Champion, and his buddy, the adorable one, Adrian Adonis, take on Tito Santana and as Adonis would call him, the human Mr. Potato Head, Bruno Sammartino. And there's actually a great lead up to this because Tito and Savage have been fighting around the horn up to this point. And at one point during a match, Savage shitcans the referee and gets disqualified. So the next month when they run it back, Bruno is the special referee. And as Savage is about to go down, Adrian Adonis comes out and Pearl Harbor's Bruno, leading up to this fucking epic encounter. You can actually, I'll have the link in the description, but you can find this in two places. On Peacock, there's a program called WWE's Inside the Steel Cage. We'll go about 24 minutes in, or you can actually search the entire match. It's on Daily Motion. We will have the links in the description. But even the story building up to this, it's not some random four guys in a cage, and it's not a long match either. Match time probably runs about 11, 12 minutes, but for a fucking cage match with these four guys, when I say it's nonstop, it's fucking nonstop. It's great. Tells a great story. Tito and Bruno and Adonis and Savage, they all work great together in this. Nobody's laying around. Nobody's fucking down. There's no double downs.
Leave a little meat on the bone for next week, Tony.
I'm just saying, man, I get all fucking geeked up. I watched this fucking thing like 7 times the past couple days. Like, that's how much I've been enjoying it.
Awesome. I can't wait.
Stuff.
I'll watch it. I'll watch it right now.
It's an action-packed fucking 12-minute cage match. You wouldn't think it is,